What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I am Stevie, the military biker. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that's really important that people just sort of pass off to the side. Harley-Davidson security, aka your fob, and the security code you will need if you lose that. So let's get into the video and we'll talk about security. Alright, so if you're like me and you live in a colder climate and you have a riding season, 4 to 5, 6 months of your time that you should be out riding will contain your bike being in a garage because of snow and ice and whatever outside. Now that comes with its own issues, i.e. you should leave it on a battery tender and stuff like that. However, what could also come with that is you could also get a dead battery in your fob. Now if you get a dead battery in your fob, you're kind of screwed unless you know the pass code for your bike, which we'll get into shortly. Show you guys how to change it if you want it, or even find out what the actual code is right now. So we'll get into that shortly, but right now I'm going to change the battery out on the fob. Now if you've got two fobs, then change both out at the same time if you want, or if you only like most newer Harleys only come with one for whatever reason. If you want a new one, you have to go to the Harley dealer and order one. I don't know how much they are, but I believe they're not very cheap. So all you're going to need then is obviously your battery, your new battery for your fob, which is a 2035 circular battery. So we'll put the new one in now, get rid of this, and then we're good to go. Hopefully for around about a year, maybe a year and a half. But I would suggest do what I do every year, just before riding season. Swap the battery out, because you don't want to be stuck somewhere on the road and your battery runs out on your fob, especially if you don't know what your code is. So anyway, let's have a look at the battery. I'll show you exactly how to take this apart. It's pretty simple, literally simple, and then we'll talk about the security code. Now, first things first, I said a 2035 a minute ago. It's not a 2035, it's actually a 2032. Hopefully that'll go in there like that. You can see the Energizer ones there. I just went around to my local hardware shop and picked these up. Obviously are going more and more expensive nowadays, but this like $15 for two, 15 Canadian dollars for two. Obviously, so you're gonna need one of them and your fob, and all you do, you can either use a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, or you can use a coin. Actually, so in the side of the fob there, you'll see like a little slot. Let's see if it works. Come on, here we go. You can see like the cutout bit there, and all you do is you put it in, screwdriver in, and pop it off like so. And then inside, in there is your old battery. So we're going to want to take this out and make sure when you put your new battery in, all right, you put it back in the same way. So at this point, it can be a little bit of finicky to get out. If you use your screwdriver like that, you should just be able to pull it out. All right, so basically what you want to see when you put the new battery in is you want to see the writing that tells you it's a CR 2032, and you want to put that at the top so you're looking at it when you put the new battery in. So I'm going to do that now. Brand new battery out of the packet, details, writing, etc. at the top. Slide that in, make sure she's in good. There you go, easy. And then all you do, close it up, literally put the front where the actual ring is first in, and then just lock it into place like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You've now got a fob that isn't going to let you down for the next, let's say, year. So that's part one of the security piece done. Now you want to know how to change the code if you haven't done that before. Obviously the factory code literally comes out of the factory is 11111, right? It's 5-digit number. It's either 1111 or 313131 from the factory. So I'm gonna go show you exactly how you get to that on the menu within the bike, and then if you want to change it, you can go ahead and change it with these steps that I'm going to show you right now. All right, so like I said, you want to check out what the code is on the bike, if it's set to factory or indeed you want to start changing the code yourself. All right, this is what you got to do. Okay, before we switch the ignition on, make sure your fuel switch, your fuel master switch is off. Okay, so there's no noise coming out of the engine, which there won't be because the ignition's off anyway, but make sure that's off. All right, and what we want to do, we want to turn the ignition on, we want to cycle this 5 times, then we want to press your left hand indicator 3 times, which they'll then show up on their enter pin. All right, but if you want to check out what the pin is or indeed change the pin, you then press your right indicator 1 time. So the steps are ignition on, cycle this 5 times, 3 on the left hand indicator, and then once on there. So we'll do that now. So obviously, just for demonstration purposes, you can see right there that the pin is actually still set at the factory setting 31313. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change this code to my code, and all we want to do, just to show you, your left hand indicator will change the number that's flashing. Once you want to move on to the next number in the row, you then press your right hand indicator and it will shift over to there. Once you've done that, it's gone off now obviously because I haven't done it. Once you've selected your number with this one and then confirmed and moved on to the next one, once you get your 5-digit number in there, all you got to do is turn the ignition off and turn the switch off here, or whichever way you want to do it. Turn the switch off and then turn the ignition off, and then that is your code sorted. That's it. I'll put my new code in. Hopefully you can't see it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that off, turn the ignition off, and that is the code entered. So I'm going to check now. I'm just going to do a confirmatory check that it's actually changed the code, and then we'll move on from there. One, two, three. Enter pin. Bypass that, and I can now see my code, so I know it's worked. All right, so yeah, so that is how you actually change your code. And once you've changed your code, just go back in just to make sure it's actually done it. But if you want to check out what the code is, like I said at the beginning of the video, just follow those steps. Ignition, make sure your fuel switch is off. Ignition on, fuel switch, cycle it 5 times, up, down, up, down, up, down, as it were. Indicator on the left hand side of the bike 3 times. That will then say enter pin. All right, and at that point you then press the right hand indicator to see what your pin is. All right, but if you want to just enter the pin, if you, for instance, you lose your fob, you would just not do this bit clear. Obviously you would then move into entering the pin by using the indicator buttons. But yeah, so there you go. That's as easy as that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I now know what my pin is, because I've changed it from the factory setting. This will stop anybody going into your bike if they manage to get into your bike, rob your bike. This will definitely help stop people just putting the code in without the fob, and away they go with your bike. So if you haven't checked that, make sure you check it out and change your fob, battery, and indeed change your code on the bike. It'll stop the thieves, those dirty rat bags, from robbing your expensive Harley-Davidson. Anyway, hopefully that was a little bit of information for you guys, helpful information. Thanks very much for watching. I am, of course, Stevie the Military Biker. Take care wherever you are around the world, and remember, you'll never walk alone.